welcome back to Hudson's House of Play. Thanks for joining me, Miss Lynn, for our craft tutorial. Today and this whole week, we are learning all about man-made wonders of the world. And we talked about the Taj Mahal today. And so for our craft, we are gonna make a miniature version of the Taj Mahal. So let's go over the materials that you'll need. You're always gonna need your usual coloring tools, scissors, tape, maybe a stapler, glue. Those should always be on hand. And then the next material set we need is either an old peanut container or formula, or if you've had those little puffs, Gerber puffs, they come in these containers. Paper towel rolls or toilet paper rolls. We'll need 4 of them. So if you have 2 paper towel rolls, you could just cut those right in half. I have some toilet paper rolls, so I happen to have 4, which is perfect. And we need some cardboard. I'm using an old cereal box for my cardboard. And I have some scrap newspaper or flyers that we're going to use and crunch up as well. Lastly, we'll need some tissues, or you can really use any kind of paper, and I'll show you what that's for. And I just have an old piece of cardboard from a box, a toy, that I'm going to be using as my base where I put my Taj Mahal right onto. So let's see what we need to start with. First things first, we remember that the Taj Mahal had those 4 towers in each corner. So that's what our toilet paper roll will be. It'll be the 4 corners. So we're just gonna lay out what we're gonna be doing. And then right in the center, we have the biggest part of the building itself, which is where they housed the princess, or the queen, sorry. And now we just have to add the wings of the building as well. So I'm gonna cut into my cardboard here, and I'm gonna start there. So we'll slide this over, our little miniature version here. And I'm just gonna cut our box open, and be careful with the scissors. If you are new to using scissors, then you'll wanna have an adult help you. Or maybe you already have a nice piece of cardboard lying around that you don't need to cut. Miss Lynn doesn't have anything, so I'm going to be cutting with my scissors just to get a nice piece of cardboard out. And I'm just gonna take one side of my box here, and then I'll save the rest of my box for my next craft. I love to upcycle all of these things so that I can find extra use for it. All right, now I'm just gonna cut this flap off. Okay, now I have my piece of cardboard, and I'll save this for another day. Okay, what am I gonna do with this? Well, I need 2 wings for our Taj Mahal building. So I'm gonna cut this in half so I have 2 pieces to work with. It's just a rough cut, nothing crazy. So now I have 2 pieces to work with for my wings, and I'll move my scissors over. All right, now let's see what we're doing here. So we want to add these pieces onto the sides of the building. Now Miss Lynn is going to show you how I'm going to create a sort of like a 3-sided wing. I'm going to take my paper or my cardboard here, and I'm going to fold it into 3s. So I'll fold it once, and then I'll fold it again, just like this. Flatten it out. Ta-da! And then I'm gonna fold it one more time, right in half. There we go. Now I wanna add this to my center. I'm gonna move these out of the way because we can put these on at the very end. Now, if you'd like, you can have this taped down or you can glue it down. It's your choice. Miss Lynn is gonna use tape just because it makes it a little bit easier for me. So I'm gonna grab some tape, and I have some masking tape, but you can use any kind of tape that you'd like. All right, let me put a little bit of tape right here. All right, it's down on one side. I'm just gonna add a little bit onto the sides here. And we're gonna be decorating it and painting it, so don't worry about the tape placement. Okie dokie. So my container, it's a very light container, so it's on there nicely. Now I want to add the wings to my container, just like this. So I might have a little extra here, which I'm going to cut. I'd like to keep this, or I guess I could fold it in. Yeah, I could just fold this part in. But if you remember, there were 2 wings on each side of the main building. So Miss Lynn is going to cut this just a tiny bit smaller. I'm going to cut the ends off. I don't need such a long rectangle. And I want it to be a little bit shorter than that main building. So there, just like that. All right. And I'll do that for my other side as well. But first, let's add this piece on. I'm going to use my other tape that won't show, my clear tape. I'm going to just put the tape on here and add it right there. All right, and then I'll do the same for the back so that it stays nicely. And remember, you can use whatever you have in your home. You want to try to be as creative as possible in the event that you don't have the same things that Miss Lynn does. I'm going to put a little tape to attach this to the bottom of our cardboard here, so that way it doesn't move, and I can lift this up if I wanted to once I start painting it. All right, I've got one side on, and you don't have to worry about the top. We're going to do our second side. So first I folded my cardboard into thirds. I folded it 1 and 2, and that makes 3 parts to it, just like this. And then I folded it in half, just so that I have a few sides to my wing here. And I'm going to cut this down like I did for my other piece. It was a little bit long, as we saw. All right, now I can add this to the second side. Let's get our tape. I'll do it from the back first. Okey-doke. And then I'll tape it on the front. Oops. I want to make sure that I'm taping in the same spot as I did for the other one. And then I'm just going to simply tape this onto the base, the cardboard base. This is going to be fun. That's one side. And here's the other side. All right, now it's really secure. See? Okay, our final structure that we need to add are those 4 columns, those 4 towers that were on all the corners of our building. So you're going to take your paper towel roll, and you can do the little slits so that you can secure it, or maybe you just want to add a little tape right from the outside. So Miss Lynn is just going to, I'm actually going to do a few slits at the bottom, and I'll show you how we do that. And that's just so that we can flip these up and tape them down easily. We did this for a couple of our different crafts. See? Now you can just set it right in the corner, and you can tape it down where the slits are. So it's your choice. It's also easy to tape it without the slits. Let's get our tape. Where did I put that to? Oh, here it is. I'm just gonna hold it steady, tape it down. And the toilet paper rolls are so light, you don't need too much tape. to secure them. You just want them secure enough so that when you do start coloring or painting it, it won't move all around. All right, I'm gonna do this for all of my sides, all of my towers. All right, I'm gonna flip this up just like so. And the best part is yet to come. You guys are gonna be decorating your building however you like. Be as creative and use as many colors as you'd like. Miss Lynn loves to see how you decorate all of your crafts because they're all so different. The colors you choose and the materials you use are all unique to your own style. All right, we've got 2 of those towers. Now I'm just gonna add the last 2 in the back corners. All right, that's one, and I'll cut this one while I have my scissors in my hand. Now I wanna make sure you take your time when you're doing these crafts because it really gives you the opportunity to work on your hand-eye coordination and your motor skills, which are so important. This one ready to be taped down. There's one side. That's 2. And I'll do one more for good measure in the front. There we go. And now I'll do my other. Last one. Oh, I forgot to flip these edges up. Let's do that right now. Got all my tape ready to go though. Let's make sure we're getting it into the corner. That's one side, the other, and the last side. All right, now let's see how far we've come along. Wow, look at that. Okay, remember at the tops of those columns and also in the largest point of the building, there were those big globes on the top. So that's what Miss Lynn has our newspaper for. I'm gonna take this and crunch it up into a ball. Just like that. I'm gonna smush it, smush it, smush it. And then I'm gonna add it to the tops of each one. So what am I using the tissues for? I have the tissues in case you wanna cover it up so that it doesn't look like old newspaper. Twist it and then just tuck it in there. That's how I'm doing mine. So let's see. And you don't have to take it in. If you want, you could just keep it tucked. Crunch this one up. And this one, I think I could tear this in half. This is a little big. So I'm just gonna take our newspaper, tear it up, so I can make one for each of my towers. So it's just, we're rolling it into a little ball. Working the muscles in our hands. And I'm grabbing my tissue. I'm gonna wrap my little ball inside. And then I'm just gonna give it a little twist here so that I have something to stick right into my toilet paper roll. Just stick it down there. And I need another tissue. And if you don't wanna use the tissues, you can use anything. You can use some tissue paper, you can use plain paper, construction paper, it should be soft enough. Or you can even leave it plain with just the newspaper showing. That would be kind of artistic and cool too. But just for this project, Miss Lynn is going to do it the traditional way. And I'm gonna wrap it up in my tissue. All right, this is my final one. And then we're gonna do the center. Okay, check it out so far. Whoa, that looks pretty cool. Now I'm going to take my lid off of my container here so that I can put my big paper ball in there. I'm gonna need a lot of paper for this one. So I'm gonna take, let's see, this big one here, brush it up. Let's see how it looks. Okay, I need it a little more crushed. Squeeze. Ooh, my hand muscles are getting tired. All right, and then my last one. And you can always use, ooh, I wanted to show you, you can always use, grab some aluminum foil if you wanted. That would be easier to mold. And you can even use a paper bag. I'll show you how I use the paper bag. And if you have white, that's perfect. You can just fluff it up and stick it right in there. And there you have your Taj Mahal top for that center building. Or you can stick with your tissue paper, whatever you decide. I'm gonna keep this one in here because this looks kind of cool. Now it's our final step, time to decorate. I am going to be using some markers and some paint to decorate my Taj Mahal. So I'm going to be painting, but I also wanted to show you how you can leave it brown and just add the windows into your painting. So I'm going to use this dark purple color, and I'll show you our building had some really ornate doorways and windows. If you remember, they were shaped like pentagons. So you want to take the time to maybe decorate these, and you can always decorate it first and then stick it on if you'd like. That way it's a little easier for you to hold the containers. But I'm going to show you how I just drew the door on there. Yes, and now I'll draw a few more onto our wings here. I'm just going to draw some of the windows that we found. And you can draw as many or as little as you want. This is your version of the Taj Mahal. So take your time, get some fun stickers or glitter, and go crazy. Decorate it as much or as little as you'd like, however you pictured it. And then maybe one day you're gonna have the opportunity to really go and see the Taj Mahal. That would be so much fun and such a great learning experience. I would love to see these wonders of the world. Maybe you'll create one of the man-made wonders of the world someday. I would be really interested in seeing what you could come up with. So Miss Lynn has just added a few windows and a few decorations onto my little miniature version of the Taj Mahal. I'm going to take the time to add a little bit of color here and there, but you do it however you like. I'm going to use all different colors because I pictured the Taj Mahal being like a rainbow of colors. What about some yellow and blue? I need to get some of the fun colors out. And I'm just going to add a few different spots of color in different places. And then I'm going to work on my column. I'm going with some pink, and I'll show you the final product. I'm so excited. I'm going to go with a little blue now. And they're just for my windows, so nothing crazy here. And let's get some green. And don't forget, put on a smock if you feel like you're gonna make a big mess here. We don't wanna leave moms and dads with a mess. Or grandma. And I got some yellow. I love the color yellow. Let's see here. And let's do one more color. I'm gonna go with some red. All right, let me show you what I have so far. It's really colorful. Check it out. I've done red and yellow, green, blue, pink, and purple. I'm gonna add a few more different colors, and I'm gonna go crazy painting my Taj Mahal, and I can't wait to show you guys the finished product. Now you guys can add stickers, you can add glitter, you can add beads, whatever you want. This is just your starting point. So take your time, work on your craft, and send it to Lynn at hudsonshouseofplay.com. I'll see you next time.